Alright, April Fool's is over, and we can finally have a conversation about Poop Spike. Is it actually worth 199 gems, or is this skin just a meme? Let's talk about it today. Alright, so as usual, we're going to kick things off with the appearance of the skin, and as you can see, Spike is now poop. He's got a swirly bit up at the top, he's got his signature hollow face, and he has a brown texture. And that's pretty much all the depth you're going to get out of this skin. The only other thing I can really comment on is the fact that he doesn't wear pants, he has a diaper that's got a pin in it, and other than that, that's really all you can talk about with this skin. There's really no nuance to anything about this skin. It's like they said, we want Poop Spike, and this is what we got. It's literally just poop in a diaper. That's all this skin is. There's no little details in the skin. There's no corn inside the texture. He's not dripping or anything like that. He's just solid poop in a diaper. Overall, not a big fan of it. I feel like the appearance of the skin was really phoned in. It's like bare bones, very basic, not very exciting. But let's see what else this skin has to offer. Alright, so moving on to animations. For Spike's winning animation, he does a little jump, poop goes flying off of him, and then it climbs back onto him onto his other side. Then he throws it again over to that same side where a rainbow follows that poop for whatever reason, and then Spike just stands there happily. Alright, for Spike's losing animation, he runs around with gas around his waist, he's holding his ass, and he's frantically sweating. He then stops, holds his stomach for a second, and then repeats the process over and over and over again. So overall, the animations for this skin are decent, in my opinion. The winning animation is just okay. It's not like anything crazy. It's pretty by the numbers, in my opinion. But the losing animation is actually a gem, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of small details in this, like the gas that follows him around and the sweat that comes off his head, that make it really nice. And overall, I think the animations are just decent for the skin. Alright, now we're moving on to effects. And the first thing I want to note is that there's no explosion sound tied to your attack or super with this skin. I think this is just a bit of a bug and it'll get patched eventually, but as of right now, there's no explosion sounds like there should be. Alright, so for Spike's main attack, he throws out a big pile of poo that has a rainbow trail behind it. It breaks into smaller turds and it leaves behind a plunger in the center where it exploded from. Those smaller turds eventually sputter out and they leave behind little poo splatters on the ground, and there's little stink piles all over the place wherever there was poo. Overall, I think the main attack for this skin is actually pretty good. There's a lot of small details to notice, like the plunger and the gas clouds that come off of the poo, and the fact that it leaves poo splattered everywhere is actually kind of funny. So overall, I think the main attack is actually solid for this skin. Alright, next up, the super. Spike's gonna throw out an overfilling toilet that explodes when it lands on the ground. It leaves behind multiple poo piles, and for whatever reason, there's a bunch of rainbow and sparkles in the center of this, instead of like gas and all that. It's a weird choice to have a bunch of rainbows tied to this skin, but whatever. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of impressed with the effects on the skin. I thought they were really gonna phone it in and it was just gonna be like poo splatters everywhere, but there's a lot of small details, like I said, on like the main attack, and the super actually has some decent details as well. So I'm actually kind of impressed, and I would say the effects are actually top notch for this skin. Alright, so now we ask, is this skin actually worth buying? Now, remember, this is a 199 gem skin. You cannot get it out of Star Drop, so you do have to spend gems on it. But it is worth noting that you do get a profile picture, which is actually kind of decent. You get a spray as well, and a pin. But right now, the pin is not animated, so do keep that in mind. So, is it worth it? Should you buy this for 199 gems? Alright, so I'm just going to say this right at the top. I don't love this skin. It's just not my thing. I don't find poop jokes funny anymore, personally. But I will say, if you do actually like the skin, then it is actually kind of a good deal, because it does have a lot of details in the skin that actually make it worth it. Now, I've already said I do think the appearance of the skin is a little bit phoned in. I mean, he's literally just poop in a diaper, and there's no other details outside of that. There's not much to talk about. Like I said, it's a bit phoned in my opinion. But the animations are both pretty decent for this skin. Like I said, I really like the losing animation. That's like a gem to me. I think it's actually like decent for what the skin is doing. And as far as the effects go, it's actually decent, other than the fact that there's no explosion sounds tied to the skin. So I think that'll eventually get patched. But as far as like the super goes, that's pretty decent. It, you know, it leaves the piles everywhere. It looks okay for what it's doing. And like I said, I actually like the main attack. I think that's actually really good. And it has all those small details that I look for when I'm doing these skin reviews. Like it leaves that plunger and the poo splatter everywhere. And then everything's just got like the little gas that comes off of like whatever. So I think the main attack is actually like the star of the show as far as effects go. So objectively speaking, this skin is actually not that bad. It's got little small details that I look for when I do these skin reviews, and I have to say that if you like this skin, if it's your kind of thing, yeah, it's worth 199 gems. You can pick it up. You will have to save for it if you're free to play, but you can eventually get it. I'm just personally not going to use it. I'm just going to stick with Pyro Spike or Toon Spike because I like those skins a lot more personally. But like I said, it's a decent skin. It checks all the boxes. It has the small details that I look for when I do these. So like I said, if you like this skin, then absolutely get it. Save up your gems. You'll get it eventually. But let me know what you think about this skin down in the comments. Do you think it's worth 199 gems, or do you think it's a skip? Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.